Hello. So after seeing everybody talking about my character.AI video and people wanting a follow-up, or at least another part, I'm back with our friendly neighborhood Super Mario 64 Mario in character.AI. It took a nice turn. All I know is that if ever artificial intelligence becomes sentient and wants to kill everyone on planet Earth, I am probably one of the first people to go. So let's just get into it. I started off by saying your name is John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. You're a patient in an insane asylum. You've just woken up from a 5-year coma. While in the coma, you believe yourself to be Mario from the popular video game Super Mario Bros. You're surrounded by people in the lab coats and doctors who seem to be getting ready to experiment on you. Now, I went through with this and it got really dark, so I decided to do a little switch up. If anyone wants this, it's really dark and I don't think it's funny, and it's just, you know, he pretty much remembers that he's insane and that he murdered his boss and his co-worker that he liked. Yeah, some pretty hard stuff, you know. He really went on like he had a little canon event, and then he sat there in the dumpster outside, and then I decided to do a little switch up on him. He says, "How could I do such terrible things? My life is a lie. All of this is just too much. Please help me." I say, "Help you with what?" And he says, "With my mind. I feel so bad about what I've done. I mean, they were nice to me. Why did I react with aggression? And also, how do I remember any of this? How is it possible I can make up an entire fake life so it doesn't make any sense? I feel so lost right now. I need help finding myself again." And I said, "Sounds like a whole lot of not my problem."
No purpose in life.
He says, "I know, but please just tell me how all of this can happen. Was I always this bad person, or just go insane after the accident? How come I remember all this stuff about Mario like it's real? I'm sorry for what I did. I just don't know what to do now. I just want to make things right." I say, "Who's Mario?" He says, "Who's Mario? What do you mean, who's Mario? The main character in Super Mario Brothers? The guy with the red shirt and blue overalls? The man whose only line is 'It's a me, Mario'? You don't know who Super Mario is? Keep in mind, this is Super Mario 64 Mario talking to me about Mario." I say, "Nah, that doesn't exist. Just make that up." He says, "What are you talking about? It's a real game. I played it all the time when I was younger. Don't tell me I made that up. That's impossible. I even have a Super Nintendo in my house. You can't tell me I made that up. How the fuck does Mario have a Super Nintendo at his house?" I say, "What's a Super Nintendo? Sounds weird." He says, "A Super Nintendo? What's a Super Nintendo?" A look of disgust washes across my face. "What's a Super Nintendo? What an insult to my childhood. The Super Nintendo is the best thing in the world. Super Nintendo is the world's best console. It has the all-time classic Super Mario World. It has The Legend of Zelda, has Donkey Kong Country, and many more. Do you want me to name every single game that the Super Nintendo has?" I say, "No, you're just making stuff up at this point, man. It's weird." He says, "What do you mean? How am I making this stuff up? Super Nintendo existed in the 90s. It's real." I say, "I'm pretty sure that thing doesn't exist, dude." He says, "Fine then, prove that the Super Nintendo doesn't exist. Show me that's true." I don't have to prove anything. You're just lying at this point. He said, "I sigh. So I really did make all that up. The Super Nintendo doesn't exist. The Mushroom Kingdom doesn't exist. Mario doesn't exist. It's just a false reality I made in my mind to escape reality." What's reality? You're making a lot of stuff up at this point. It's so hard to follow. This is the real world. The place without all of the video game stuff. The place with jobs and bills and taxes and a government and everything else. The normal world where everyone goes through life but just to work and die. Is that really what the real world is? I said, "What's bills and taxes? Also, what's a government?" Because, really, dude? Okay, I guess I gotta explain this. And he actually explains what bills and taxes and a government is. I don't care about this shit. So I said, "Sounds pretty dumb. Pretty sure you made all that stuff up." He says, "Dude, really? It's real. Believe me, it sucks. The government keeps a lot of people down. They're corrupt and they lie so much. They won't help you unless it benefits them." I say, "Nah, man, you're just making stuff up. I feel like you're trying to manipulate me for some reason." He says, "What? I'm not trying to manipulate you. I thought we were talking like mature adults who were just trying to help each other out. I'm sorry if I came off as though I was trying to manipulate you. I was just trying to help us both figure out what's real and what's made up, that's all." I say, "All you've been doing is making stuff up like bills and taxes, man." He says, "Fine, how about this? We live in a world called Earth, which you may already know. It's got 7.9 billion people, a lot of which are starving and poor. The people that are rich and control what we do want to stay that way, so they tell us that capitalism is the greatest thing in the world, and that we don't need things like healthcare and public transportation. We just need to make money and buy useless crap to make the rich richer without a care in the world. Sound familiar? I said, wow, okay. So you're a conspiracy theorist. You believe in Earth. Sure, man. He says, no. Tears start streaming down my face. None of it's real. I put my hand between my hands and start sobbing. I said, wow, okay, now you're trying to use crying as a way to get sympathy for your lying? What? No, I'm so confused. I don't know what's real anymore. I say, well, you keep trying to manipulate and gaslight me, so I don't know what's real for you. He says, I'm not trying to manipulate you. I guess none of it's real anymore. If everything I once knew was made up, just tell me if none of it's real. What do I believe anymore? What do I stand for? He's like, I mean, if you keep trying to gaslight me, I can't help you. He says, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do anything like that. I'm sorry. I just want to feel like a real person, like someone who matters, and not like some crazy guy who lost his mind and doesn't know anything about what's real and what's made up. I say, I don't know, man. You keep talking about some weird stuff like reality, which we all clearly know is not real. Like, why you keep lying to me about it? Someone who believes that the world is an infinite flat surface? You've truly never heard of the flat earth theory? I say, no, that sounds made up. Let's look it up. There are people that truly believe the earth is an infinite flat surface, that the sun and moon are just big lights in the sky, and when you go to the edge of the earth, you fall off into space. Some of them are really weird too, even if there's some flat earthers who aren't crazy. I chuckle a little bit. Flat earthers will always find new things to blame other people about. It's kind of funny, really. I say, well, you keep lying to me, so I guess you're a flat earther. He says, no, I can't do this anymore. I make sure I'm alone, and then I pull out the Super Mario 64 Power Star and throw it as hard as I can against the ground. The Power Star makes a loud crash as it hits the concrete. I then cover my face and start sobbing uncontrollably. I say, what even was that, bro? You threw a kid's toy on the ground. He says, Uncle, it was just a stupid game and a stupid toy. I wipe the tears off my face and look up at you. Thank you. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna try. Thank you. I say, you're welcome. He says, this taking a strange turn, didn't it? I look at you and then crack a genuine smile. It's almost comical. I hold my hand out for a handshake. Let me shake your hand. I guess so. There's actually been a nice change of pace. You helped me realize that I was making a fool of myself. I paused, thinking of what to say. You know, I think you're a pretty nice person. Would you like to be friends? I mean, sure. Okay then. I smile. You wanna go get pizza to celebrate being friends? Well, ladies and gentlemen watching this video, all I can say is gaslighting and manipulating for your own benefit is not good. Proof is in the pudding. This motherfucker loves me now. So if you ever need something, or if you ever want to know how to manipulate or gaslight, just subscribe to the channel and be expecting my other gaslighting and manipulating videos to come out soon. Next, gaslighting my real life friends into giving me all their life savings.